Hey, what's going on? It's Carlos from Hybrid Records. Today is Friday, November 18th. That means we are 1 week away from Record Store Day Black Friday, which also serves as Hybrid Records, my shop's 7-year anniversary. Thank you. Made it a long way, made it through a pandemic. Now let's see if we can survive a recession. Fun times. But because Record Store Day Black Friday is just around the corner, that means it's time for our biannual sneak peek video. And doesn't really leave a whole lot more to be introduced. Let's just get straight into the sneak peeking portion of the program. Here we go. All right, now first things first, I would like to start off with something I think will become a recurring segment in these videos going forward, and it's a segment called Do We Need That? And it is dedicated to all of the Record Store Day titles that beg the question, do we need that? And I know some of these are going to, I know almost all of these are probably going to sell out, and they're sought after, and people are going to be salty at me for even calling into question their validity as Record Store Day titles, which is not entirely what I'm doing, but you understand what I'm saying. So the first thing is one that absolutely, without a doubt, is going to sell out. We got a bunch of copies of it, but it does beg the question, do we need this? Ghost, Impera, picture disc. This record just came out, and we sold a bunch of copies of it on colored vinyl, I believe. It's like a purple colored vinyl, and we still are getting people asking for it. But now there's a picture disc version of it. Cool, I guess. An interesting decision when so many people feel so strongly about picture disc, but neither here nor there. The second, and this one, really, do we need this? Billie Eilish, Happier Than Ever. This one is printed on rainbow foil stock and includes a poster, black vinyl, very expensive for what it is. Do we need that? I don't know. For us, that album didn't sell great. I know it sold really well in a lot of other places. There's 10,000 variants of it. But that's neither here nor there. Don't think we really needed it, but it's here. The foil jacket looks nice. I'll give them that. The Weeknd, Dawn FM. Do we need that? I don't know. And we really did not need this one. Return of the Dream Canteen. Red Hot Chili Peppers. Again, seems to be a theme here for these things. Foiled, holographic, whatever you want to call it, jacket. At least the vinyl is pink, neon pink. Includes a poster, whatever. So that concludes the inaugural segment of Do We Need That? And yeah, leave your comments, do whatever it is you want to do. Agree with me, disagree with me. Most of you probably disagree with me. But how many different versions of some of these things that have come out in the past year do we need? They just came out. All right, anyway, moving on to some highlights. Now, the stuff I'm about to show is not everything that we got. It's just some of the things that have been asked about the most, that we got a bunch of copies of, so that will be relatively accessible, and things that I'm excited about. So that's kind of the criteria for why I pulled these specific titles and why I'm going to show them, because realistically, I've only shown 4 records. We'll see what the edit does, but as far as recording goes, I'm like 5 minutes into this video already, and I haven't even shown half the records. So small selection so that we can get through this in a relatively short period of time. All right, here we go. A label that has a lot of releases, that does really great work, that I'm very excited has hit Record Store Day Black Friday so heavy. This is from Craft Recordings. It is the 15th anniversary. Silverstein's Arrivals and Departures. I haven't seen a reissue of this in a while, and this one's on 180 gram colored vinyl, and it is completely remixed and remastered and comes with a bonus 7-inch with 2 additional B-sides. a worthy reissue, if you ask me. And I believe that one's an RSD first, so there will probably be a black vinyl version of it, I would assume, getting a wider release later. So if you miss it, you can still get it later. But this one is the limited opaque green marble, which I'm sure is limited to 3, 4, 5,000 copies, something like that. I don't know. Another one from Kraft. Again, everything I've got from them sounds great, and this one was mastered by Kevin Gray, so you know it's going to sound incredible. This is the 35th anniversary edition of Townes Van Zandt, At My Window. He really recorded for the sake of the song so many times. That's on that record. But excited about that nonetheless. Always glad to add more Townes to my collection. This is a record that... This is a band that had a record store day release in April that we didn't get a ton of copies of, and everyone was asking me about it all day, so I tried to get as many as I could. I think we got 4 or something of the probably 10 that I ordered. But this is Kitty. Oracle is the name of the record. A band I'm not super familiar with, but they got asked about a lot last time. This is a record I am very familiar with and is very, very good. This is featuring the original album artwork I take that back. It does not have the original album artwork, but this is the self-titled record from the Salvation Army, which later became the 3 O'Clock. Oh. Interesting. They're calling this before 3 O'Clock, but it's spelled F-O-U-R. You can't really see through the little thing there. Okay, cool. But it is... It is their debut album reissued. I have the original of this, and it says original cover art on here, but the original says the Salvation Army up here, so it's not quite original. At least I think. The copy I have, at least, before the name change. Colored vinyl. Really, really good album. You should own it. For the first time on vinyl, Traffic and Weather, Fountains of Wayne. If you watch this channel, you know I love Fountains of Wayne. This one was during a period of heavy drinking for Chris, and so Adam Schlesinger, R.I.P., did most of the writing for this record, and then Sky Full of Holes, their last album that they released, I think in 2010, was kind of the album where Chris Collingswood comes back, is trying to make up for this record by having more input, but him and Adam butted heads a bunch, and it was kind of the last thing they did. But this is limited to 4,000 copies, orange with black streaks colored vinyl, includes printed inner sleeve with lyrics. Again, it says on LP for the first time. I don't know if that's true, though. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's accessible on vinyl again at the very least, and that's exciting. This one, I had a conversation with my Gen Z co-worker about this record, and she scoffed at the idea that I would be excited about a record from this band, but this record is very good. And if you haven't heard it in its entirety, go listen to it, because I think you'll be very surprised about the style of music that you hear on this. But this is the 25th anniversary edition of Fushu Meng by Smash Mouth. Their debut album includes Walking on the Sun, which was the big single from it, but good record. This is a record that I am not familiar with. It's by a band I am familiar with, but I've never listened to this album, and it is the first pressing since its original 1990 release. It has a bonus 7-inch, the Methodist coloring book, and more. 100% of label profits go to charity, The Giving Groove. This is the Dead Milkmen Metaphysical Graffiti. Here's an artist with a very, very, very diehard fan base. This is Lights, Siberia Acoustic. It's just a reissue of this record on colored vinyl, but seems to have been out of print for a little while. So this is one I'm very excited about. I'm not the biggest Foo Fighters fan in the world. I like them, sure, well enough. Not the biggest Dave Grohl fan, but I saw Studio 666, and the thing that I left that film with was man, I wish they would release that doom metal song that they were working on in that movie. And then we got the whole album, Dream Widow, the band from Studio 666, which is really just Dave Grohl. There are one or two other people that play on this record with him, but he does the majority of the playing and the songwriting. But this is essentially the band, the fake band from Studio 666. And it's very good. It's very doomy. It's got some black metal in there, and it's pretty heavy. It's pretty heavy, and I like it. I listened to it already because I knew I was going to keep one. So cracked it open, put it on the turntable. Sounds good. Pretty heavy. Good job, Dave. Appreciate it. One of my favorite records, and one that even when I DJ I play, which I never thought that I would say I'd play a Captain Beefheart record in a DJ set when I've played mostly funk and soul, but Too Much Time is a banger, and this is Clear Spot. 50th anniversary double LP, includes bonuses like early mix, rough mix, instrumentals, alternate versions, a lot of previously unreleased stuff. Double LP right there. And it says, yeah, it includes rare outtakes from the Clear Spot section. Clear vinyl. Very cool. Now this one, arguably the biggest release of this Record Store Day cycle. I am beside myself that I got every copy that I asked for. Can't believe it. But the first time in 30 years this has been commercially available on vinyl. And that's The Cure Wish. It's a picture disc, double LP picture disc, includes Friday I'm in Love, A Letter to Elise, etc. But this one, literally since the day that I opened in 2015, people come in all the time and they're like, hey, do you have The Cure, the album that has It's Friday I'm in Love? Or they'll be like, hey, do you have The Cure Wish? Can you order me The Cure Wish? And every time I have to just be like, no, I can't. Doesn't exist. You got a couple $100, you can get an original. It's still very hot. Ugh. But it's finally available. There's like a regular reissue of it that's supposed to come out in January. We'll see if that happens. I think it will. But this is the picture disc special edition. You can get it a couple months early. And yeah, we have plenty. So if you come on Friday, the chances are pretty high that you'll get one. Okay, one of my favorite records of the last 10 years. I think maybe it came out, almost 11 at this point, but 10 years. This is Masked Intruder, self-titled, has been out of print for a while. Glad it's finally back. Definitely one I'm going to keep. I ordered enough that I'm pretty sure I can do that, but 25 to Life, great. Heart-Shaped Guitar, great. Am I Only Dreaming, great. There's so many. I Don't Want to Be Alone Tonight, great song. So many good songs on this one. All right, another edition in the Lost Tapes series from Motorhead, live from 2000. That one's cool. Okay, maybe my most controversial opinion in this video. Maybe. But I love the My Chemical Romance cover of Desolation Row by Bob Dylan. It's much shorter, 10 minutes shorter than the original, give or take, and the music video for it is as corny as it gets. But the song, fantastic. An incredible interpretation of that song, and it is from the Watchmen soundtrack, which also has a ton. This is a 3-disc set. It has a ton of other great songs like Bob Dylan, Times They Are Changin', Casey and the Sunshine Band, I'm Your Boogeyman, Leonard Cohen. It's got Nina Simone. And then the 3rd disc is all of the Tyler Bates score. Tyler Bates does great scores. I think Fast 5 he did. Just did the X soundtrack with Chelsea Wolfe. Fantastic film. This is a wildly expensive record. In my opinion, yes, it's 3 LPs, but it's like 65 or 70 bucks or something like that, and that seems wild. But Is what it is. That's the world we live in. Jesus Lizard. Great stuff. First time ever LP reissue. This one, I'm not entirely sure what the story behind it is. It says last known unreleased Doors song, Paris Blues, and it has unreleased live recordings from May 31st, 1969, and blah, 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 whatever. Doors, Paris Blues. Self-explanatory. And then we have the 40th anniversary edition of Madonna's first single, Everybody. If we have spoken in the last couple of months in the shop, you probably know I'm going through a Madonna phase right now, especially the early stuff with the really great Juno synth sounds on it. Love it. And then last but not least, Shadows Fall, Art of Balance. Definitely one that got a lot of questions about. So we got some copies in. And that one is 20th anniversary. Colored vinyl, bonus 7-inch, featuring 2 songs not included on the original release. And let's see if it says anything about mastering. Nope. But expanded packaging featuring rare photos, liner notes, etc. All right. Was this video long enough? Probably not. Probably could have talked for another 15 minutes about it, but we're not doing that because you won't sit through the whole thing. So that's where we're at. There's a ton of other titles that I didn't show. There's a good stack of titles that haven't even made it to us yet. But since we probably have, I don't know, something like 75% of our stock has arrived to us already, wanted to go ahead and knock this video out. Any further details in case you're planning on showing up? We open at 9 a.m. Friday, November 25th. We'll be open till 7 like we normally are, and from 12 to 7 we'll have DJs, all vinyl DJ sets throughout the entire... That was loud. Throughout the entire afternoon. Myself, DJ Crybaby, El Dusty, Doughfinder General, DJ Josh, aka DJ Princess Fiona, aka The Cute Owl, aka You Already Know the Vibes. We'll be spinning, and then, yeah, there'll be other stuff going on as well. I'm not going to say anything yet. It's going to be a surprise. Let's do it. Let's have fun. 7 years of Hybrid Records. Fantastic. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, do whatever it is that you want to do. It's your life. It's your world. I'm just living in it, so make your own decisions. But I think some really great titles. Every year the list comes out, and if you watched my video going through the list for the first time, you heard me say it then, but every year the list comes out and people are like, oh, the list isn't very good anymore. Oh man, there's not that many good. And yeah, there is some like nonsense on the list always, but there's also some great stuff that is readily available again, and that's nice. So okay, we'll see you on Friday. Have a good time. Happy hunting. Hope you get everything that you want, and we'll see you later.